Y'all, welcome to Chilling with Breezy. I really want to address some of the talk that's been going on online about Kendrick's performance at the Super Bowl, and overall just who Kendrick is. Not really just focusing on the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is what inspired me to come here and do this, but I really want to make this about helping y'all understand who Kendrick is, because to truly grasp who he is, you got to be where he's from. And I think I'm qualified to speak from that point of view. And to a lot of people, the way that we live is seen as animalistic, wild, dangerous, ignorant, loud, ghetto, everything bad when it's us who's doing it. And when I say us, I mean Black America, the one who are in the neighborhoods where gang culture is heavy in, where hip hop is originated at. We're looked at as a problem. And we have been looked at as a problem all throughout history. So when you're a young boy growing into a young man and then later on into a man, you start to view the world from a perspective of everybody hates me. But you wonder why. Because your intentions are well. You look around and you don't see bad people from your community. You see some bad characters, but not bad people, as the world will make it seem. Then you have a talent that you worked hard for. You in the neighborhoods where it's poverty going on. The only thing you have to look up to is drug dealers, pimps, pastors, or working a 9 to 5. So out of those, you're going to choose which one suits you well. So no matter if you choose the pastor, you came from a neighborhood that belonged to a gang, and you don't think that you being affiliated with them gang members affects how you worship God, because all the gang members that you knew wasn't violent and killing people. They was just from a neighborhood. The struggle was the same, but it's different characters inside of the struggle. Everybody is just not killer gang just because they throw up this, or just because they throw up this, or however you throw up the Bloods. I'm from the Midwest, whatever it is. Everybody ain't killers who throw up that. Everybody ain't ignorant who throw up that. But everybody who throw up those things are a part of the culture, the very culture of America, the very culture that created culture in America. These are the children of it. These are the creators. So when you would get a Kendrick Lamar to say, like, I probably built them pyramids, don't think of just the pyramids. It's the culture of America. It's the culture. And this is what people is missing inside of this beef, because everybody will make it personal, right? You have some people who are fans, and y'all can be fans of either side, but I'm going to just speak on specifically Drake fans or conservative white people who can't understand that it's probably good to listen and hear these people over here out. Because just like y'all are patriotic, these people are too. But they have been faced with rejection by their very brothers and sisters on the opposite side of race. So it turns into like a war cry. This is not a crying, sad moment where everybody is giving pity and sympathy. Nah, we win at the end of the day. We always do. So it's not a cry out for sympathy. It's one of war. But when you hear that war cry, don't you saddle up against me. And I think that's what Kendrick battled inside of this music industry, because he prides himself on not changing for a rap image. You have people who come into a place and they think that they have to change who they are because who they are is not enough for this spot right here. Everybody else tell them you have to be like this, you have to be like this. But when you got a person who like, I built this, I am this, I don't have to change who I am. Y'all got to change who y'all are. Because I'm this right here. I'm this. And whatever I do is what gets done. And you could never understand that unless you are the thing. So when it comes to these rappers in the industry, a lot of these people aren't this thing. A lot of them come from great lives and money, never spent a day inside of what they rap about. All of them are gangsters and killers, but if you meet them, they're not. I've met plenty. They're not. Not at all. You guys have met plenty. They're not. Y'all see them in interviews. They're not. They don't sound like what they rap like. The voice different. You got characters like Plies. You got characters like Rick Ross. Yeah, they look like us, but they're not us. Even Drake, I mess with Drake. I mess with Jay Prince and them, I have to say that. But me calling it down the middle and being fair, Drake is an actor. So with me being who I am, I do resonate with Kendrick. I also give Drake his credit where writing is involved. I also will give his credit where acting is involved. The same way I give Tupac his credit where acting is involved. It's no disrespect. It just is what it is. And today in America, they use emotions to sell. That's why if you run a market analysis, the main thing you look at is what's the pain points. Because you want to know, what are people having an issue with? What are they sad about? What caused the hurt? What is the pain? What needs to be fixed? How can I make them feel better? How can I be of service? And that's how you get your product. And it's nothing wrong with that system of things. But when you got bad characters, they will create the pain point just to later on sell you a product to fix the pain point. I hope y'all follow that. They work just as Big Pharma works. Give them the stress. Give them that later on leads to depression. That later on leads to all kind of illnesses and sicknesses. We have a corrupt food system. Feed them the poison. Feed it, feed it, feed it. And then when they're sick, give them the antidote. Or not even the antidote. Give them something that'll fix them for a little while and make them come back next month. That's the spirit of the bad characters inside of our economy. And that spirit is inside of every major system in America. Entertainment is one of, if not the most produced thing in America, or the most successfully produced thing in America. We create the culture of the world. And who leads in entertainment? If you guessed right. So, thinking like Kendrick, you're inside of a game where you look at everybody has to be nice with a bad character. I've heard the rumors of Drake messing with all these guys' girls. Where we're from, that's a bad character. Because it's not like y'all pimping. Because even when it's pimping going on, you have to notify the guy that you just knocked his woman. Being sneaky and going behind someone's back is a show of bad character. Where we are concerned, where we come from, that could only matter to us. But it matters to us. So it matters inside of the game that we created. So when Kendrick looking around and saying, like, y'all know this guy is around here doing this and showing bad character, and still y'all rocking with him, y'all supporting him 100%. Then you have the big corporations putting them up on top and making this bad character look like such a great one. That don't sit well in a good person's spirit. And especially where you came from, where we came from, because we have always been told that we were the bad characters. Knowing that we wasn't. Understanding that our intentions were pure. Knowing that our spirits was American. Because even when we did hurt people, it was in self-defense. And the people that got hurt most of the times was people of bad character. Who posed a threat to a good person's life. Not saying all of it. It's never all. But the one who's of good character is always looked at as the bad guy, even in those situations. The street talks where we from. Something happened, everybody know what happened. Everybody know who did it. Everybody know why. But even when the why makes sense, and nobody can see no other way of handling, like he did what he was supposed to do, because that guy, he did pose a threat to his life. They will still tell him he was wrong. He should have laid down and died. Imagine coming from that. Imagine coming from, we just shake up because we're from this neighborhood. We don't know what it means. We're 10, 11 years old. We don't know what it means. Yes, we know the words that it represents. We know the gang that it represents. But we don't know that we're viewed as terrorists. Why? I see all good people doing this. Why? These are the people that raised me and took care of me. These are the people that showed up when I was acting the ass up in school. These are the people who punished me. My father died in the name of this. He was one of good character. So I feel him when he said, like, you ain't never had to claim a gang. You ain't came from a neighborhood that represented a gang. You ain't came from that. You ain't had no neighborhood handshake. You had our neighborhood handshakes. And I get it. I get it. We influence the world. But when I come up in this industry and I see you at the top and I see you with all your bad character traits, me with my pure heart, me who's been through adversity, me who have been told that I was wrong in my country, Me, who has been the problem. Even when I wasn't the problem, even when I wasn't all them things. To see you, who are all them things. And then you're posing as me. It seems to me that you're furthering the charges that was put on me unjustly. When I see you trying to look like me. But what happens when your bad character hits the world? What happens when people mistake you for me within your bad characters? What does that do from the people back in my neighborhood who not where I'm at? Who don't got that hard work ethic like I do? Who didn't have a support system of gangsters, real men, looking out for me and making sure that I made it. The ones who don't have a father figures due to this system. What about them? Because everybody don't make it to these heights. But what you're doing will further the stereotype with them. And then the way that the music industry has become influential, because at one time celebrities wasn't influential. They was influenced by our neighborhoods, our cultures. You know why? Because we was the ones behind the scenes writing it. We was the ones acting it. We was the ones portraying ourselves. But here in 2025, the entertainment industry has swapped out Black Americans for everybody that's foreign. We'll have Idris Elba play a Black American. We'll have that lady who played Harriet Tubman being from a totally different country. As if we don't have great people here to play ourselves, who don't even have the respect or the history to represent it with a good heart. But we got to watch that. We got to watch her turn around and disrespect the same person that she's portraying, which belongs to us, but we can't do that to them. We got to watch, even in the NBA, we got to watch them go and get everybody from across the world that look like us to replace us. Therefore, when they get their enrichments, it go back to their homeland instead of right here. And this is no DEI talk. We're overqualified. Toe to toe, face to face. We always win. Because Black Americans have the greatest culture ever. We are the greatest group of Black people in this world. And that's why I dislike when people say, well, in Africa, they do it like this, so we should do it like this. And Africa is the motherland, and we should move like this and like that. And I'm like, have y'all ever been there? Because I have. I've been in Nigeria. I like it. I like how they treat me like a king. I like how I had the chance to experience how it feels to be a white man in America. And I'm not talking about a Caucasian. If you know, you know. The real white man. So, experiencing that, I enjoyed how they put me up on a pedestal. Because you know why? Because like Kendrick say, I deserve it all. I deserve that treatment. Because they understand that we create the culture that they live in. They understand how influential we are to the world. They understand our value even when we don't. Because this country has killed our self-esteem, left us with low confidence, and still our confidence stands taller than anybody who you put us up against one-on-one. So I get it. I get Kendrick. Walking around and you got to see this. Walking around and you got to feel this. You seeing all these people around here, man. Dang, I thought you was a gangster. Oh, you ain't real either. It's 2025. You scared? You scared to speak up? What you scared of? You was broke before, right? Oh, you wasn't? Oh, that's why you scared. Oh, okay. Because see, when you was broke before, you're not scared of nothing because, hey, you understand that if you have to go back to your neighborhood, you know, it's love there. As long as you were a pure-hearted person. It's always love back home. So you don't fear that. Everybody else does. And you find issue with that. Because what's the fear about my neighborhood? Why do I need Drake to represent my neighborhood? There's plenty of people who make great music in my neighborhood. I happen to be one of them. There's plenty of people who do great acting in my neighborhood. There's plenty of people who I went to school with who was great writers. It's plenty of geniuses in my neighborhood. It's only a few killers. It's a lot of followers. It's only a few leaders. It's easy to manipulate my neighborhood into thinking that they're not worth it. Kendrick mentioned that all of them in the industry are on trial. And I agree with him. Because it's forget y'all hip hop. Because whatever this has changed to, I don't even recognize it. When I submit my music, it's hard for me to put hip hop. When people say, what's the style of music you rap? I can't say hip hop because hip hop is unidentifiable to me. I don't resonate with it. I don't. Hip hop don't speak for my community. Kendrick does when he drops. But hip hop don't speak for my community. I understand that. Hip hop came from my community to speak for my community. But now it's speaking to my community. It's speaking down to my community at that. Because it's owned by politicians and people like Barack Obama and his friends who will stand on a podium and talk down to us. When we're the victims. And not saying we're the victim in every situation. I'm saying at that moment when we're the victim, he will stand up there and talk down to us as if he's our father, and he's not. From Hawaii, buddy. Hawaii became part of the United States, a year before you was born? We still don't have family in Hawaii. Not a real American. Unless they're military children. But we don't hold roots in Hawaii when we're from America. Especially black folks. Look around. Non-black folks. Ask a black person. Do they have family in Hawaii? Black folk. Ask yourself. Do you have family in Hawaii? Do you have history in Hawaii? He's not like us. But these people would come over and talk down to us as if we're not who we are in this country. And then turn around and tell us, well, you can't cry about it. Who said we crying about it? That's a war cry. But when we do that war cry, y'all get the trembling and shaking and turning into victims. And we just say, why cry about it? This shit funny as hell to us. Oh, y'all thought blood was going to spill through this rap shit. This ain't blood. But if it is, more blood going to spill because we doing this. Because we came from that, right? Remember? Run civilized. Remember? And whacked out murals. Kendrick started out by saying, yesterday, somebody whacked out my mural. That energy will make you niggas move to Europe. the importance of that line was y'all would run to y'all safe place. The creators of hip hop safe places was never Europe. Never have been, never will be, and never could be. That's y'all foreigners. The ones who are not like us. You know where our safe place is at? Mine is on the hill. The place where everybody get warned not to go to when they come in my city, Joliet. You know what some other folks' safe place is? On the south side of Chicago, the west side of Chicago, in Compton, in the Bay, in Brooklyn, Baton Rouge, in the neighborhoods that created the culture that y'all like to mimic. But when y'all get defamed, the embarrassment send y'all running back to Europe. Oh my God, they're being mean. Look, we came up off of sticks and stones, may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. Stand up and fight like a man. We understand that it's only a few other places where black folks stood up and fought. But eventually they stopped. We still. Every time we get the chance, y'all see what Kendrick just did at the Super Bowl? I'm sure that whole performance wasn't approved. It's no, I'm going to do what I want to do. And I don't care. I'm going to do what I want to do. And I'm sure y'all want me to do that, but who cares? Because I always did what I want to do. And it always became the thing to do. I lead this. Because where I'm from, that place over there that influenced this. And it's time to put it back on track. Because a lot of people got caught up in the party. The party died. It died with Diddy. A lot of people got caught up in that. The politics of things. Hey, you meet this person, you become friends with this person. In their case, you start to become lovers and friends with people. Start prostituting yourself to get where you want to go. Where we from, that was a thing that women did. But in that freaky world over there, men do it more than women. Everything's backwards over there. But the party died. The freaks can't even come out at night because where we from, the gangsters played at night and everybody else had a curfew. Because if something happened due to outside enemies of the gang in that area, and it happened to somebody who wasn't a part of this right here, they would get blamed for it. So they made everybody go in the house. And y'all can say it was wrong, but that's the only way they knew to protect the people who had nothing to do with nothing. If it hit us, guess what? We signed up for it. They didn't. The freaks can't come out at night where we from. The gangsters outside now. The men are outside now. There's no children running around, wandering all alone, going into alleys, coming out unsupervised. That don't happen when the gangsters is outside. Those kids are in house sleep where they supposed to be, getting ready for school in the morning. But y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all learning about that. And I'm happy to sit right here and teach y'all about that so that y'all can further understand Kendrick, who represents me and others like us. It's important. Kendrick also said, I done been through it all. What you endure. Because you rapping like you're gang, and you with the killers. But what have you endured? We lost people. When I first started leaving outside of where I'm from, I understood that everybody ain't lost nobody. Especially due to gang violence. Or even outside of gang violence, just a straight bullet. Wrong place, wrong time. A car accident. Most people haven't. So where I felt like it was normal because I've lost plenty of people, Kendrick said 16 to be specific. With me, it's like 7, 8. If we count the penitentiary, maybe like 16 to be specific. It's like, what have you endured to be able to be the biggest at what we suffered for, what we were made out to be enemies of this country for, what we were looked down upon for? How can you represent it and be the biggest represented and you haven't been through that? And then you're one of bad character. I get it. I get it. I get it. And then he mentioned, I heard them pander with them backhanded compliments. And while those of you who do this may think you're slick and perceive us as being dumb, that's your first mistake and your last one, because we peeped it the first time. And you always been an enemy for that point on. So you was loafing because you don't understand how the streets go. You don't understand how things go over here in this section that you're thinking you're the biggest in. Can't be the biggest if you don't understand how the mechanics work. Because at any time, a child of God can come at you without fear and get you out of here. You're a bad character. We'll show our respects in the form of paying homage and minding our business. But somehow people tend to stick their head into our business. We're never interested in sticking our head into y'all business because we are the biggest business. We are the business that influences y'all business. So how about you pay homage, as big as you are, to the creators of it? And if these guys over here, with all their opinions and no power behind it, can't do it, guess what? I'm going to build up to a point where I got power behind these blows. Then I'm going to hit you. I'm going to get you rib shots. Rib shots. You going to take that. Have you never got into a fight? Where I'm from, majority of us have. Even the weakest. Because when you're the weakest, everybody bullies you. So eventually you got to fight back. How was your neighborhood? However it was. We pay homage to your skill, your talent, your hard work. And you turn around and shit on us by working behind the scenes and undermining us, It's not okay. The real ones that come from where I come from, we understand like Kendrick does. And like he pushes to inspire when he say things like, no, you're a god even when they say you ain't. That's our English. Ain't. That's our English. We know who he talking to. Because even when the world say, you guys are the bottom of the bottom, the lowest of the lowest, we understood that, hey, well, the guys must kick it where it's considered the lowest of the lowest. Then when we go to church, as most of us grew up in, Christianity to be exact, we learned that since I made you not of the world will hate you. But if you were their own, that being of the world, they will love you. So we understood that everything was opposite. If they hated us, they were the haters. When they said we was nothing, we knew that really they're nothing. When they say we was everything bad, we understood that you guys were everything bad. Like I said before, even when y'all knocked our confidence this low, it still stood 6 foot tall compared to y'all's. And that's the thing that these industries and these systems feared. Because no matter what, Black Americans persist anywhere. We don't fold. We don't run from our country because it's war torn. We stay. And we fight or we endure the pain. But we don't run. We don't have a history of that. So, what does that say about you? In America, where we come from, our name precedes us. We have morals. We have code. We have integrity. When we lack in them areas, we understand that we ain't nothing in the communities that we live in. When we carry them character traits, we understand that this is a person of good character. This is a great person. So when a person come and throw smut on our name, those are fighting words. That becomes an act of war because you can't put something on my name without getting permission from me because I worked on this. When the world looked at me as the bottom of the bottom, the worst person in the world, I could have fell into that. I could have been the worst person in the world. Me personally, I come from a place where my local government took out my whole family. I could have been the worst person in the world. I could have been a menace. But I didn't. Because God had a bigger plan for me. And I'm understanding that. I could have been. And I wasn't. So me, with all the adversity that I have overcame in my home, all of it, you don't have the right to throw smut on that. You damn near can get deleted over that. And if it sounds too extreme, that just means you're not like us. So don't act like it. When we over here chilling in our section, don't come over here trying to be like us. It's men over here. It's women over here. It's children over here who all came from a certain place and who understand codes, morals, consequences, the importance of relatives, family, respect. That's what that section understands. We don't understand cutthroat. We don't understand that we can't trust the person sitting here next to us doing business with us. We don't understand that. Because us doing business together is what created truces in our neighborhoods when gang violence reached all-time highs. We understood that business can create a truce. See? Not create enemies, but bring together enemies under one accord and invested interests. Not until the government came and got in our business did we become enemies within business. And the government is inside of the business of hip hop. I'm not gonna walk it all down for y'all. Y'all get it. If y'all don't, listen to it again. But I hope y'all do. And I want to stop real quick. I want to stop and let y'all know that I appreciate y'all support. I appreciate y'all sitting right here and listening to understand where we come from. Because it's not a cry out for help. It's not a cry from being a loser. It'd be a war cry a lot of times. And others will make it seem like we're crying out as far as tears and being crybabies on the ground, kicking our feet. No, we never have. It's war cries. It's problems come behind this. It's greatness come up out of this. But take the moment. Hit the subscribe button for me, please. Please, please, please. Share it with a friend. Get in the comment section. Let me know if y'all rocking with what I'm putting down. Let me know. Because my point of being here is to bring some kind of positive change to your mind. Whether it be an understanding of the way that I view a topic or just introducing you to a new perspective. I'm here to help people think outside of their self. I'm here as a person who loves my country. I'm also here as a person who loves my culture. I'm also here as a person who loves who I am. And also I like to talk, especially to y'all. So if y'all could hit the subscribe button, share it with a friend, jump in the comment section. Let's run it up. I really want to make it to 1,000 subscribers before the end of this month. So if y'all can help me, I would appreciate it. Let's try to get it going. Please, and I much appreciate it. You guys are appreciated. Also in Whacked Out Mural, Kendrick said, Snoop posted Tailor Made. I pray it was the edible. And my perspective on that is not that Snoop couldn't have real support for Drake, but it was more so that he know that you didn't have real support for Drake over real support for him. So there had been something in there controlling you that made you do that. Your hands was tied. So for him to think that of you would ruin his love for you and his appreciation for you, paving the way, coming from where you came from, which in turn helped him get to where he is right now, being from the same places. And when you have that kind of respect and reverence for someone, you don't want to know that they're fake or controlled. You want to imagine that they're just free. And they still remain the bosses that they were back at home. You don't want to see him in all the adversity that you know he been through be bent over and rammed for the sake of power and respect, status. Especially when you've been a person who kept his integrity, who didn't change for this industry, who didn't go to the parties, who didn't lose his manhood. It hurts your heart. Even if you knew it deep down, when you see it, it hurts you. Because now you look at it like, I became your big homie involuntarily. I would have never played big homie to you out of respect. But now you ain't Uncle Snoop no more. Out of understanding, you might still be Uncle Snoop, but that'll be your name, not your status. And when he made reference to winning the Super Bowl and Nas being the only person that congratulated him, to me that represented that everybody else in the game was compromised. But we knew that. We knew that. Because why can't you congratulate a person who came from where you came from? That's why I always salute CJ on 32s. Because I know for a fact he came from where I came from. So I see some of the chatter online. He ain't really, stop. We don't play into it. But if I ever have the voice to speak up where it would matter for him, I'm always going to do it because he come from where I come from. And I understand what he had to go through to get there. He faced a lot of adversity. So you see, the ties. It's the ties between Black Americans that foreign Black people don't hold. They're strangers to us. We're loving to everybody, but they're strangers to us, just being honest. Right? We came from a place where just doing our hobbies, whether it was rapping, playing basketball, playing football in the field, talking to girls, walking around just kicking it with your friends, we dodged bullets. We dodged bullets. Most people come from where we come from, we understand what to do when we hear gunshots outside. Get on the floor. How about you? Did you know that at a young age? We did. Coming from that, it's disrespectful to say that you the big dog and you ain't been through that. How you the big dog and you ain't been through that? We don't respect that. You get hit in your mouth, where we from? You said you what? Oh, no, you said you what? Better get up out of here, man. Gonna be some problems. coming from a place where you got jumped. The odds was against you. And you still had to fight. We got this saying we say when you're back against the wall. The back get put against the wall because it's multiple people. We come from a life of that. And we still stand up and fight. Or as Kendrick would say, over there on the West Coast, squabbled up. Even when we went to address stuff about our money because we needed to take care of our family and there was multiple of them. For these dividends, I'm going to die behind it because that's what it is. Squabbled up for them dividends. And still, against all odds, we show up day in and day out as gentlemen. When we was in school, we showed up as kids, even though we was adults outside, ducking bullets, sending bullets, selling drugs, doing whatever there. We showed up, and we were students, we were children. When it was time to get a job, we showed up as decent human beings. Right now, being from where I came from, I'm not presenting myself as nothing less than a gentleman who have morals, integrity, and demands respect. And I move in an honorable fashion. Against all odds, I did that. Against all odds, I'm here being that. Y'all gotta understand that. And we always had a thing about being politically correct. That was something created to keep us from in front of the cameras or keeping us from telling our true story of being exactly who we are. Keep it politically correct. No, I got an opinion. Keep it politically correct. No, I have an opinion. And it matters. It makes sense too. It's not an ignorant one. But just because I don't say it nice, it won't be accepted by the world. That's not the truth. You're a liar. You want control. You wanted me to remain politically correct. Keeps me under your control. Because it does something when you suppress the truth or yourself in front of the world. It does something to your spirit. It does something to your confidence. So here, 2025, in the year where we can be heard and we're not under our control, because the ones that was under our control, they over there, and we were stuck back here because we wasn't politically correct. But now we got platforms like YouTube who allows us to come on here and not be politically correct so that y'all can feel us. You hear me? Y'all can keep it politically correct. I'm going to do what I did right here. And if y'all like it, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to be alerted whenever I drop a new video. Because y'all going to want to hear it because it's only going to get better. Please. Don't be stingy. Share it with a friend. Please don't be stingy. Share it with a friend. It will help me. And plus, I want to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of this month. We don't believe in sympathy because sympathy for losers. I said in one of my songs, I say, sympathy for losers so we win. That's where we're bred to believe where we're from. Even if you're never told it, you understand that the loser gets sympathy. So you don't chase sympathy. We don't want sympathy sex. We don't want sympathy love. We don't want sympathy support. We don't want none of that. We want to get where we're going off of our merit. You don't have to feel bad for us. You don't have to support us. If I got a great product, just simply treat it as if it's great. If it's great, you use it. If it's great, you buy it. If it's great, you pay a great price for it. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? It's never sympathy. Because that's coming from a weak stance. Hope you understand that without being offended by the word weak, because I know a lot of people are offended by the word weak, but that's what it is. And we don't come from a place where the weak survives. It's been one. I enjoyed y'all. Honestly, I did. I enjoyed y'all. I also want to give thanks and appreciation to whoever created YouTube. Because now that I've figured out how I can use it, I understand the great purpose behind it. And I also understand that bad characters can make it semi-bad in some instances. But it's life. It's bad characters everywhere. That's why we got the saying like, one bad apple ruins everything. But only now where I'm from, bad apples get thrown out the window. They don't win where I'm from. Where we from, the gangsters win. The ones that y'all thought was gangsters and they lost, they wasn't. Because at a certain point, we got smarter and we was no longer gangbangers. We were men. We were women with morals, code, structure, direction. And we never reverted back to gangbanging. It just went more covert. Because you never really had somebody who was fearless enough to stand up in front of the world. And I'm saying inside of a great position, like you can be the mayor of your city and stand up and throw up where you from. And represent it in a way that it changed. I was born in 89. It haven't been gangbanging. Gangs are a part of the culture of America. No matter if you're white or black. And I say that because those are the American originals. Not speaking of what was before America, but America, the corporation. Both white and black people belong to a gang. I don't care in what position you came from. Your neighborhood belonged to a gang. Well, let me correct myself. Caucasians. But gangs are a part of our fabric, no matter your race here. It's a part of it. It's just that we all evolved. We all started somewhere with great intentions. Went through corruption. Then cleaned it up. Because we learned better. And we wanted better. And now we're here. Gone are the days where we're looked at as the monsters of the world. Because now y'all can hear straight from the horse's mouth. Y'all ain't got to listen to these rappers who really not from where we from. Y'all can come right on YouTube and hear straight from us. Have a blessed day. In Jesus' name, I always pray. Amen.